Welcome to Jason in the Kitchen. Today we're going to be making blueberry muffins, my favorite recipe from Chef Mark Miller's Flavored Breads cookbook. So let's get started. Before we get started mixing our ingredients, I've got a muffin pan that I've brushed with cake goo, and what that is a mixture of equal parts shortening, oil, and flour, and that'll keep the muffins from sticking. You can also butter and flour them, use cupcake paper. You can do whatever you'd like to do. This is just to keep the muffins from sticking in the pan. I've also got my oven heated to 375 degrees. Now we're going to sift together our dry ingredients. I've got 3 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup whole wheat flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 cup granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, and 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. We're just going to sift those together into the mixing bowl. Just to aerate those and get those combined together. Got these bits on top. Kind of work them through. Some of this is just the salt, so that's okay. I use kosher salt. You can use a sea salt or something that's finer ground. Right now we're just going to stir all that together. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I've got 1 cup of frozen blueberries that I've thawed and I've drained. And I'm going to mix that with some of the flour mixture that we've already sifted together. You can add this to the big batch if you want. That's fine. I separate some of the batter out, so what I'm going to do is make some that are chocolate chips for my son Jason, because he doesn't like the blueberry muffins. So I'll make a few chocolate chip for him, and that's the only reason why I'm separating this out. So I'm just going to stir this together. Now the reason why we drain this and mix this with the flour is to absorb any liquid that's still in the blueberries. This will prevent your muffins from having those blueberry streaks in there. Now if you don't mind that, if you don't mind those streaks in there, you know, that's fine. Now I'm using frozen wild blueberries. Wild blueberries are smaller, and to me they have a better flavor, but you can use fresh blueberries, whatever you can find at your supermarket. That's going to be just fine as well. Okay, I've got 3 eggs in a mixing bowl that I've whisked together. I've got a slightly damp towel underneath to keep the bowl from moving around. And I'm going to add 1 cup of melted butter. That has cooled a little bit. There we go. Always add the butter to the eggs, just because one of the restaurants I worked at, one of the corporate chefs, he's from France, and he said that's the way they did it in France. So that's the way I've always done it, and I've never had an issue. But if you do it your way and you just mix everything together, have no problems, that's fine too. Now I'm going to add 3/4 cup of milk. This is whole milk. I've got 1/4 cup of honey. I have a little issue getting your honey out. I oiled it, but you can also heat up your honey too. That'll help it out of your container, but fortunately the microwave is broken. But I did oil this a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be helping that much. Use your finger. I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is pure Mexican vanilla. I don't use imitation because it's a carcinogen. I've got a teaspoon of lemon zest. One reason I love this recipe so much is because of the flavors in here. Blueberry goes very well with ginger and lemon. And so that's in here along with a little bit of the whole wheat flour. Just gives these muffins a great flavor. And they're not overly sweet. They have more of a complex flavor. And I love that. Then we're going to add some brown sugar. Okay, those are combined nicely together. Now we can mix them with our dry ingredients. All right, now we're gonna mix the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Then we're gonna stir it all together until it combines. You wanna be careful not to over mix this or you're gonna get a tough, dense muffin, and we don't want that. Make sure you get around the sides and along the bottom. There's a little bit of flour left, but that's okay because what I'm going to do is take some of this batter out. Make a few muffins. Now I'm going to add my blueberries back to the main bowl. And I'm going to finish mixing everything together here. Alright, that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is put some semi-sweet chocolate chips into this batter. Mix that together. There we go. We've got a chocolate chip batter and we've got a blueberry batter. Alright, I've got a number 12 scoop here. I'm going to use this to scoop my muffin batter into the muffin pan. You don't want to go any higher than the top of the muffin pan. Okay, I've got 12 muffins total. I've got 9 blueberry and 3 of the chocolate chip. We're going to put this in the 375-degree oven. And we're going to bake these for 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown or a toothpick comes out clean. We're going to put these on the middle rack. Okay, these just came out of the oven. It took about 31 minutes. Now we're going to let these cool in the pan for 5 minutes before we take them out and let them cool the rest of the way on a cooling rack. Okay, the muffins came out easily from the pan. I've got them on the cooling rack now to cool down for a little bit before we try them out. Alright, they're still warm. Cut into one, put some butter on it because that's how I like it. And then I'm going to try this out. Took too big of a bite. Those are really good. Flavors are amazing. It's complex. Get the blueberries, the butter. It's not too sweet, just sweet enough. This is a great blueberry muffin. I highly recommend you try this recipe. This is my favorite blueberry muffin that I've ever had. Been making this recipe for years, and after you make it, you'll see why. So thank you so much for watching. If you find value in these videos, please like, subscribe, and share these videos. God bless you.